Good morning from the hazy sweet potato flower area. Down here, we're currently in the sweet potato bed. Forget how long it was. I think it was at least 10. I think it was 12 feet long. We'll do a little span here in a second. But at this point, it's become the sacrificial butternut squash. They all have a little nibble in them. Just knowledge for next year. Just threw these seeds out here. Wasn't expecting the most of anything from them. Pumpkins that were down here last year didn't do well last year also. So, little groundhog lives down in this area, kind of over here somewhere, comes out of, and does a little damage. But, whatever. But the sweet potatoes, fortunately, are underground for now. As you can see, the ground cracks there starting to form. We talked about them a little bit in the last video. But they're getting bigger. That plant. They can come down over here. See another that crack in the ground there. So that's the potatoes growing underneath, forcing the ground up. So that's just a telltale sign that we have potatoes underneath there. So that's very good. Call them potatoes, sweet potatoes. They're technically not a potato, different family. You can Google that. I don't really have all the details at this second to tell you, but that's the truth. Anyway, coming out into the sunshine. There's me. Gonna spin back around. So that was the sweet potatoes. Here, things are winding up. It's interesting to see here. You can see the color difference. These are the red Marconi peppers. Kind of a lighter green. And over here, we're also red Marconi peppers. Probably went in a couple weeks afterwards, but it's hard to see. I don't know, maybe you can. They're still fruiting where the other ones are done, but the color, beds are just much more healthy. Different soil. This is the first year for the bed down here, and the soil is just a little, it needs better amendments. But overall, for the first year, this garden was very productive. But just, it can be better for next year. The end of the cantaloupe down here. Just left them because I'm kind of lazy for the most part. But they all have to come out and just, not sure. Still have time to put stuff in there, but might just go right to cover crop, do some amendments. I'm not sure yet at this point. The yellow currant tomatoes, I'm just tripping over stuff. Plants are starting to die back a little bit, but they're still producing at the same time, so that's okay. And Campari tomatoes, gotten so many of these this year. I haven't really done weights, but just anytime I've needed a Campari tomato or 5, there's been some, so that's been good. Jalapeno peppers, we just did 4 jars, mason jars, pint size, pickled of them the other day, probably between all the plants over there, that one, then there's one in the back corner, way back there. Maybe another jar or 2 worth still to pickle, so that's cool. The marigolds did an awesome job. And this is the race, this butternut squash, against powder mildew. It seems to, despite my efforts, seems to be catching again. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to have to get specific seeds that are powder mildew resistant plant varieties for next time, but we should be able to get this squash, all of this, and only one squash. But that is, yep, that's a male, and that's probably all we'll have time for. So, well, whatever, it's one more than I had when I started, so 1 seed, 1 squash, seems fair. All right, basil, and that's everything. Catch you next time.